Valera versus Magni.
Hey guys, this is AstroCat here with another video showing the Highlander Thief Control Rogue. Here we have a straightforward mulligan. We keep the 3-drop and hope for some other cards. Against Warrior, it doesn't really matter that much what you start with. Obviously some cards are better than others, but Warriors don't really put pressure on in the early game, so we're not really concerned about anything. For turn 2, we can either forge our 2-drop or we can play a weapon. And in this case, he plays a Needle Rock Totem, which is a minion you want to remove in most cases. So that's what I end up going for. Warrior does have quite a lot of removal, so playing minions and ignoring the totem could be a bad option in the long run. And well, so Warriors are a pretty tough matchup for this type of rogue for a few reasons. One is that they run Ziliax Deluxe with the elusive enchantments, and they tend to resummon those quite a lot, so that tends to be quite tough to deal with. Another problem is the guy that shovels in mines in your deck that blows up your cards in your deck and in your hand and in your board, on your board, which is also pretty tough to deal with. We run a soft counter to that in Tony, King of Piracy, in our what's it called, the ETC Band Manager card. But anyhow, we see that he plays the Druid Tourist here. He's also an Excavates Warrior. Unfortunately, our Marin gets eaten by his Tourist card. It sucks a bit, but it's not the end of the world. Could have been worse. But we have some nice easy removal on our hand, and going forward we don't really have any super good options. I just trade the Weapon Destroyer, get us Watchbroker, nice, good to go. Get a Blizzard, it's not every day you see that. But that's a really good card. Obviously with tests we can replay that Blizzard another 3 times, which just turns us into a Freeze Mage all of a sudden. So he runs the Dirty Rat in the Band Manager, and he pulls, thankfully he doesn't pull our tests. That was a 50-50 actually.
Slip of the hand.
And well, playing Blizzard is an option here. I choose to take for some spells. I mean, we don't really care about face damage. We just want to sort of play around his dangerous cards and possibly grab some of them with a Dirty Rat on our own. We get some, not really impactful spells, but I play them. Just because we can play them many times over later, and to clean up our hand a little bit. We can of course balance the small guys with our breakdance spell, but that we want to save that for the test later on. See that he keeps taking 4 cards. An issue with playing against Warrior is that it's not so much in your hands. I mean, if he has good draws and plays everything on curve, and you have pretty bad draws, then he will usually win. But if the draws are in your favor, you have a very strong chance of winning as well. So here I want to play the gear shifts. I don't want to shift in the cheese in our deck, so I use the opportunity while we still have the coin to put that in our deck. We do a really good grab. We managed to get Bran out of him. Here we can play Ignis or Grifta. I choose to play Ignis. Obviously that telegraphs that he should keep his weapon destroying minion on his hand if he has one, but don't really care about that too much. There might come a point where we need more removal or more heals from the Grifta, and so I'm keeping that on my hand for now. Ragnaros comes out. Not a big deal really. We have a good Blizzard turn coming up. Or we can play the Cheese and Blizzard. We have a few other options, but this looks to be the most straightforward one. Because the Cheese summons us 6 mana minions, and 6 mana is one of those numbers where the minions start to become good. So I like to play the Cheese at for 6 mana minions or 9 mana minions. I think 7 or 8, can be good as well, but 6 tends to be good value, and 9 tends to be insane value. And getting Sylvanas is,
Excuse me, over here.
an extremely good summon here. We have Velrock for the next turn, we have Grifta for the next turn, we have a Mixtape if we want to grab something nice. But I'm not sure he has played anything impactful yet, so might be holding on to that Mixtape for now. So generally you want to play a Mixtape after he's played like something really good, or like 2 really good cards.
Let the Badlands burn.
Good Velrock turn here.
The sand.
I almost always go face with this, unless there is, board removal strongly needed. Here we get some pretty bad minions. The taunt one is the best, I suppose. We can easily steal Rag here, just about how much do we want to commit to the board after that, because he will clear the board 100%. He still has lots of removal. So I think about playing the Grifter here, but I think I'll just, put the just put the 2-drop on the board. Force him to play the clear, and then we have the Grifter for the next turn. Or the weapon if you want to. I don't feel pressed to play my test just yet. I can play a bunch of more cards from other classes, and he already played the Sturdy Rat, so I'm not concerned about that. Okay, so here comes the AoE clear. It's good to get that out of the way. Get the Band Manager. It's pretty good, I guess. So with the Band Manager, against Warrior, I tend to pick Tony, King of Piracy. Because if the Warrior puts all those mines or bombs in your deck, you can just take his deck instead, and you don't have to worry about the bombs anymore. Now we took away his brand, so we don't have to worry about double battle cries. But it's still a good pick with Tony. Gets a bit awkward for him to remove because he just played this big AoE clear. So remove all of these 3 will be difficult for him. Somehow he finds another brand.
Stop and smell the flowers.
And he needs some more minions to play.
Armor! Armor! Lightly used armor!
So he's starting to get a lot of armor. In this type of matchup, I generally don't care about their life or armor. I just want to outvalue them and outblast them. But obviously, if we have a window of opportunity, like we do here, it's a nice idea to just chip away of that armor. If we have a window to put a lot of damage in, because that puts him in a bit more pressed situation, and that might make him like play suboptimal plays on his part.
Get one full price.
So he still hasn't played a brawl, so that's what I'm expecting here. I use the Grifta cards to get 3 new legendaries. I'm full on my hands, so I have to play the coin. I want to save the mixtape for something stronger. We actually get a second Tony King of Piracy here. And we do get the Mage legendary, which is kind of cool, but doesn't really synergize with our weapon.
I ain't talking.
He has another Dirty Rat. I didn't know you could put like an extra Dirty Rat in your ATC band manager and then you have one normal in your deck. That's interesting. But anyway, he pulls 2 minions, which he didn't pull test. That's great.
No time for games.
So that's actually fine. Not sure if he's gonna brawl here. I mean, he should brawl if he has it. It's a very strange play. All right.
That was well done.
That was not too well done, if you ask me. Here I'm thinking about playing Reno and just going face. We can put him really low. Other options would be, yeah, some other stuff, but I can put him really low here. And he can't play... I mean, he has limited options here. He's not dead, but puts him in an awkward spot. Obviously now I don't have Reno against like an army of Ziliax later, but he hasn't played Ziliax yet, so he's some ways away from that.
Looking for a standoff? Careful. It's a game.
Okay, Reno on his own. Probably should have expected that. It's good to get that out of the way for our test.
One shot is all I need.
I mean, we have a lot of damage here. This is potentially lethal if we draw something from Stick Up and from... I don't know if he has played something that we can steal from mixtape, but we can put him on 1... We could have put him on 1 HP. Potentially. Alright, second Reno. Why not? Like, we could kill him on the next turn, but... Okay, he plays Ziliax. So he's basically good in terms of HP. Here we can play the second Reno and put like 5 damage to his face, but puts him on 8 HP and he can heal for another 3 on the next turn, or another 5 on the next turn. So like Reno here is not, I mean it's okay, but it's not a great, it doesn't feel good to play Reno here. We want to play Reno to just remove when he overcommits to, or when he commits to the board, basically. And he hasn't committed to the board. His deck is much thinner, we can win this game quite comfortably if we play things right. So here I just choose to be patient rather than try to go for the kill. We still have our Scoundrel. It's not super important right now. Silver Serpent here is good, because you can kill the Ziliax once without him lifestealing. And I could bounce him and play him again, but could also play the secret guy and save the bounce for Tess or something else.
This treasure ain't fit for us.
I mean, mean, this deck is a lot about, you know, preparing and playing tests, but when you don't need to play her,
Oh dear, summons us.
you shouldn't really play her, I think. It's always a good, nice card up your sleeve to have. If things go awry, you can always play her. We did play a bunch of removal earlier, I think, which is good for test later on. So this is a weird kind of secret interaction. So he gets his Zilix back. It costs 11, but he can play it since he has buffed up his mana pool. But then I get a copy of the Zilix for 0 mana. It's actually a unexpected, but really an interaction that favors me, for sure. This is a, yeah, Zilix is pretty obvious here. Can do that. Could remove his weapon, but I'd rather draw for another card with a snake.
One shot is all I need.
I also have a 2-mana minion to play. Did he play a Brawl yet? Skyshift is good. Skyshift is... it's okay against if he has an army of Zilix, because he will obviously kill all of them, and then they'll all resummon, but then they'll be easier to deal with. Okay, I feel like it's getting a bit desperate here. He still hasn't played his last Excavate card, I think. And here comes the Brawl. I mean, this doesn't feel good for him. This is a pretty weak Brawl. We're still really favored here. If he plays the bomb guy, I always forget its name, but the 8-mana guy who throws 3 bombs into your deck. Not bombs, but the thing that blows up your cards and stuff. But what his game plan might be for me to get low on cards enough that he'll put 6 mines in my deck, he'll blow up my 6 remaining cards, and like 6 cards in my hand, and 6 minions at the same, you know, in the same turn. So, and then he'll win, you know, straight away. So considering that, I don't want to go too low on cards. I have 8 cards left, which is, I mean, he could play it now basically, and that would be extremely scary. So for this reason, I don't want to play Fan of Knives, play Test instead, because might as well, while we have her before she gets eaten up by the mines. And it's a pretty weak Test. It's not what we like to do, but it's something. We get some more cards to our hand, which is good, and some padding for those mines that start targeting our hand.
Move fast here.
And some more minions, and I'll bounce Tess here for another round.
A little light on cards here.
So I have 8 cards left. If he has the bomb guy, he should really... now is the perfect time to play it.
Everything is a melting pot.
So he does not have the mine guy. Instead, he has the new guy. That puts 10 spells that will cast next turn for 10 damage, but those will be upgraded and do 20 damage by the time he ends his turn. So next turn I'll take 20 damage, but what is also true is that I can just take his deck and delete him in the next turn. So I don't have to hit face even or kill his minions, because he has 19 health, and if I play my cards here right, I will play Tony and draw a card in the same turn. So now down to 7 mana, I play Turn King of Piracy. And I watch the Rain of Fire.
It's a little light on cards here.
Redemption for all those times we've lost against Control Warrior. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned something. And stay tuned for the next video.